By 1471, Portugal was no longer just a small kingdom on the edge of Europe. It had become a rising naval power driven by ambition, commerce, and the dream of empire. Since their first conquest at Ceuta in 1415, the Portuguese had been looking further south, targeting the trade hubs of North Africa. Tangier was next on their list. Whoever held Tangier controlled the gateway between the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea, as well as access to the rich trade routes of gold, spices, and slaves that ran deep into Africa. The year is 1471. Portugal against the Marinid dynasty. The struggle for control of North Africa begins. For centuries, Tangier had stood as one of Morocco's most important cities. It was a fortress of the Marinids, the Berber dynasty that had once commanded vast stretches of North Africa and Spain. But by the mid-15th century, the dynasty was in decline. Internal disputes, rival claimants, and shifting alliances had weakened their ability to defend their lands. To King Afonso V of Portugal, known as the African, it seemed like the perfect moment to strike. Afonso was determined to prove himself a crusading king. His court spoke constantly of holy war against the Moors and the glory of expanding Christendom. But beyond religion was cold strategy. Control of Tangier would give Portugal a permanent foothold in Morocco, extend its trade empire, and cement its position as the dominant naval power of the Western Mediterranean. The campaign was ambitious. A fleet of war galleys and transports sailed from Lisbon, carrying soldiers, artillery, and supplies. Portugal's navy blockaded Tangier's harbour, cutting the city off from the sea. At the same time, Portuguese troops landed along the coast and encircled the city by land. Tangier was trapped. Inside the walls, Marinid defenders prepared for a long siege. They were experienced warriors, accustomed to defending against both local rivals and European raiders. At first, the city resisted fiercely. Archers fired from the towers and counterattacks harassed Portuguese siege lines. But the balance of power had shifted. Portugal now brought gunpowder artillery to the battlefield, and its cannons began pounding the ancient walls. Day after day, stone collapsed under the bombardment. The blockade ensured no food or reinforcements could reach Tangier. Starvation set in, morale collapsed, and desertions weakened the garrison. The Marinids, already fractured by dynastic disputes, were unable to send a relief army in time. The defenders fought on with determination, but Portugal's pressure was relentless. Finally, Portuguese forces launched a massive assault. Scaling ladders, siege towers, and direct cannon fire tore through the weakened defences. Soldiers poured into the breach. After bitter street fighting, the Marinid resistance crumbled. Tangier fell into Portuguese hands. The battle was over. Portugal had won. But the fall of Tangier was more than just a victory. It was a symbol of Portugal's rise. Along with Ceuta, which had already been taken, Tangier became one of the cornerstones of Portuguese expansion. From these strongholds, Portugal controlled maritime traffic entering and leaving the Mediterranean. They also created forward bases for exploration further down the African coast. Within decades, Portuguese fleets would be sailing past the Sahara around West Africa and eventually to India and Brazil. The empire had begun. For the Marinid dynasty, the loss was devastating. Tangier had been one of their great cities, a jewel of commerce and defense. Its capture revealed just how far their power had declined. Rival Berber dynasties and rising Moroccan states would soon challenge them further, but none could erase the humiliation of losing Tangier to the Portuguese. Could the Marinids have held Tangier longer? Some historians argue yes, if reinforcements had arrived earlier from Fez, or if the Marinids had secured alliances with neighbouring Muslim states, they might have forced Portugal into a drawn-out siege. Prolonged resistance could have stretched Portuguese supplies and forced Afonso V to retreat. Others suggest that if the Marinids had invested in stronger artillery of their own, or had used naval forces to break the blockade, Tangier might have survived. Yet the wider picture suggests otherwise. By the 15th century, European naval power was advancing rapidly, driven by gunpowder weapons, large fleets, and organized logistics. The Marinids, weakened by internal strife, could not match this. Even if Tangier had survived in 1471, it might only have delayed the inevitable. For Portugal, the capture of Tangier was both a triumph and a stepping stone. Though costly to defend in the years that followed, the city stood as proof of their ability to conquer and hold land far beyond their borders. It also gave them prestige among Christian kingdoms, positioning Portugal as a leader in the struggle against Islam. This reputation helped fuel support for further voyages of discovery, financing expeditions that would change global history. The Battle of Tangier was not the largest clash of its age, nor was it the bloodiest. But it carried enormous consequences. It marked the moment when Portugal truly shifted from a European kingdom to an overseas empire. From Tangier, the road to global dominance opened. Like and subscribe for more historical breakdowns.